and student athletes, welcome to the 2019-20 girls basketball breakout session of the sports banquet. At this time, I would like to introduce Kyle Burnfield, our freshman coach, and he will introduce the freshman team.
Thank you, Mark. Overall, I'd just like to, thank the girls on a successful season. I definitely enjoyed coaching them, and hopefully the girls enjoyed me coaching as well. We did have a rather successful season. Overall, finishing 11-6 for the year. We started off on fire, winning our first 4 games. Then we decided to not play 4 games and lost 4 in a row. But we finished the season strong with 5 wins in a row, and that got us to our 11-6 record. But again, it was a fun season. Girls continued to improve throughout the season, and I really appreciate their efforts. Like to introduce the players and just mention a few things about the players. First one is Taylor Kurtz. I really enjoyed coaching Taylor. I could really tell she enjoys the game of basketball. She was always wanting to learn and ask plenty of questions to understand the offense and to get better as a player. Taylor did finish the year with 100 total points, and that led our team. Next is Maddie Gainey. Maddie was a consistent on our team with her effort. Despite struggling at times to put the ball in the basket, I couldn't keep her off the floor for long. With her hustle and determination, she was definitely a valuable asset to the team, and definitely needed her on the floor. At times, Maddie took herself off the floor by getting into foul trouble. But overall, Maddie's a good athlete, and I expect nothing but success for Maddie in the future. Player number 3 is Kylie Jennings. I enjoyed coaching Kylie. I could always count on Kylie being at practice and giving her best effort while we were there. Kylie was very quiet at times. It took a lot to get any noise out of her or her to speak, but overall, Kylie was an asset to the team. She hustled to get every rebound when she was in the game, and her effort was definitely noticed by me and the other coaches as well. Player 4, Haven Lindley. Haven had a good year. She continued to improve each and every game. Her contribution to the team was definitely important. Like Kylie, Haven was very quiet. It took a lot to get any words out of her, but she was very valuable, and we couldn't have had our season without her. Then we have Kate Oberly. Kate was a big part of our team's success this year. Kate started the year off with a back injury, so she had to work through that. She always had a very positive attitude and would do anything to help her team win. Kate is a very good defender and good passer, always tussling for loose balls and playing the best defense she could. Pleasure to coach Kate, and good luck to Kate in the future. Anna Overholser, she started the year off with us, so I just want to mention her briefly. She quickly became our top scorer on offense. She always happy to be at practice and be in games and playing basketball, and we really appreciated and enjoyed her being on our team at the beginning of the year. Next is Amaya Rayer. Amaya was very, very she was a beast on the glass. She hustled to every rebound, and we could always count on her to go after the ball and get as many rebounds as we needed her to throughout the year. She continued to improve each and every game. She had a huge breakout game against Plainfield where she had 15 points and I don't know how many rebounds, but it was quite a few. She was overall on the court doing great things, hustling. And for someone who hasn't played basketball very long, we're definitely excited to see what she develops into as a basketball player. And, tremendous potential. And she just continue to practice, Amaya, and keep working on that left hand. Our next player is Addie Staley. Addie was a huge part of our team's success as well. Addie was our team leader on and off the floor. She was our point guard, best defender, and normally when Addie had a big game, our team did well. At times, Addie would pass up a lot of open shots. Unfortunately, we needed her to shoot a little bit more at times, but overall, Addie was our second leading scorer with 89 total points throughout the year. A big part of our team's success. And I also want to thank her dad, Tyler, for keeping the scorebook most of the year as well. Briley Stevenson is our next. Briley had a good season, continued to show improvement, especially on the defensive end. Briley's length caused lots of turnovers by the other team, especially when we got into our 1-3-1 half-court press. It definitely worked better when Briley was on the court as well. Continue to work on getting better and work on your shooting, Briley. You were a pleasure to coach, and thanks for letting me be part of the team. And last, we have Audrey Sutton. Audrey had a good year for us. Audrey would always be the first to encourage her teammates and tell them they were doing something good. She played a variety of positions for us and did whatever she could to help the team. And we really appreciate that. And all basketball teams need someone like Audrey on their team. That is all I have. Thank you for a fun season again. And I'm glad I got to be part of it and enjoyed every minute of it. Next, we have Coach Franklin to talk about the JV.
Thanks, Coach Burnfield. The JV team this year, we finished a record of 14-6 with key wins at Ben Davis, North Central, and Columbus East. We only all ended up losing one game this year due to the weather against Center Grove, but overall we had an excellent season, balancing basically between the 10 players that we had, and 3 of them were splitting time with the with the varsity team as well. So I was really, really proud of this team. That was a really tough team that fought hard, definitely had to overcome some tough moments as the season progressed, as we started getting a little bit down in numbers toward the end of the season. As I mentioned, we had 10 players on the team this season. We're going to start alphabetically with sophomore Caitlin Archer. I would think that she was probably my most underappreciated player I had on the team, because Caitlin was someone who was always a positive presence for us. And she certainly kept practices light and definitely kept them on our toes during the tough moments of the season as we look up during the 16 weeks. Next, we had sophomore Alicia Bradford. She is a tremendous athlete who definitely handled all the expectations of the JV team very, very well. She was gifted enough to see some playing minutes on the varsity as well, so she would split time in practices between the JV and varsity team, and she was second in scoring with us with 8.5 points per game. Our third player on the team was Stevie Davis. She was an excellent role player who gave us the best every night and was never asked at all about any form of playing time. I was really proud of what Stevie's role was, because she was asked to do many different things on the court, and she did this without ever being reminded or certainly complaining about what was going on. Next, again, our next sophomore was Tinley Green. Tinley was probably our toughest player on the team with her defense and her ball handling expectations. Tinley started every game for us as point guard and definitely did many of the things that made the other teams and the other players on the team certainly more successful. Then we go down to freshman Cameron Horsley. Cameron early on earned her way onto the JV team right at the start of the season, and she was very coachable and showed glimpses of being a really good special player in the program. Probably Cameron's greatest strength is that she was willing to put her nose into some really tough situations defensively as well as offensively, and she had a couple games where she was double digits in the scoring for us that helped us to victory. Next freshman is Bree Hoskins. Bree also averaged 8.5 points a game. And that Bree had also moved up immediately from the JV team as a freshman and improved through the whole season. And probably I would say from the start of the year to the end of the year, Bree was probably most improved for us in the bigger roles on the team. And she started off wanting to try to get on that perimeter, and we finally taught her about how to play down low. And she was an excellent player who helped everyone else kind of be in their positions where we knew that we could get some good quality minutes with Bree down there at the lower basket. And then we had junior Hannah Hurt, was probably our best player on the team by far. She averaged 9.3 points per game. And Hannah had one of the toughest roles on the team because she was expected to be ready to get into a varsity game as well as play the JV game. And she led us in scoring and also stepped up frequently when the team definitely needed a basket. Sophomore Peyton Metzger is next. Peyton was an excellent team player this season, and she was capable of playing on the perimeter as well as also down low on the basket. And this helped us to be able to rotate some players around whenever possible when we needed times for do some subs. Next is freshman Anna Overholzer. As Coach Bernie had mentioned, that Anna started out on the freshman team, but she played her way up to the JV team with some good solid freshman minutes. And then once she joined the JV team, she became an immediate contributor on the floor. I never had any doubt that Anna knew where she was going to be and what she needed to do when she was out there. And she helped kind of give us some depth when we were starting to get lean toward the latter part of the season. And then last for us on the JV roster was sophomore Kinley Roberson. Kinley was definitely the be-all player that we had for the team. I think Kinley probably played every position on the floor during the season, and never once did she ever complain about being in some of those really, really tough spots when the games got super-duper tight during the season. One of the roles I also had on the team is that I was responsible for the managers, and I'd like to recognize them here very quickly. Starting is that we had Haley Creech, who was our senior manager, and she had contributed 2 years on the varsity team. Haley took huge steps outside of her comfort zone when she joined the team during her junior year, and that she was ultimately the only manager that was able to finish last season. But this year she returned to us and she took over all of the video operations and did an excellent job, but we are really proud to have her on the team this year. Then we had sophomore Bella Lane and also sophomore Maddie Thompson, who were freshman players but wanted to stay involved in the basketball program, and they came enthusiastically onto the team and really kind of helped build us a good core number that we could use inside the locker room as well as also behind the bench here for us. And then last we had sophomore Destiny Miles. Destiny and Bella were kind of a package deal that once we got Bella, we kind of had to go ahead and work Destiny into the lineup as well. And she was a really, really good contributor as well as behind the bench and helping us with stats and manage some of the other things that were certainly going on during the JV games. And I would like to thank all of my coaching staff that I had helping me, Coach Johnson, Coach Hudd, and obviously Coach Hurt helped me throughout the whole season. In fact, with some couple other comments about the JV season and possibly the varsity season, we're going to turn it over to Coach Hudd.
Thanks, Jeff. First, I'd like to thank Moss and Coach Franklin, Coach Johnson, and Coach Hurt for allowing me to be a part of the program. I can't tell you how much it means to me to be able to stick around and work with the kids. I wasn't able to be at practice as much as I would have liked to have been this year due to my knee injury, but hopefully by next year I'll be able to be on the court again and be a big part of the season again. The JV team was such a hard-nosed bunch of kids, and that's the kind of kids I like to see play. They got after the ball on the defense and pushed the ball on the offense. And we had some really big wins against Ben Davis and Martinsville and Plainfield, Bedford, North Lawrence. And there's some of those kids that are going to make great contributions to the varsity team next year. So as far as the varsity season was concerned, we were 16-8, had only 3 seniors on the team, Paige and Ava and Hannah. and all of those kids were great to work with. Program's going to miss them, but hopefully they'll be successful in what they have chosen to do. And we have some kids, Madeline Denny, Allie Graber, and Addie Schaefer, who will take the places of those players, and hopefully we'll have a successful year. Again, we play such a difficult schedule that 16-8 is just a fantastic season. So I look forward to being a part of the group again next year. Look forward to the season, and thank you all for allowing me to be a part of the team. So turn it over to Coach Johnson.
Hello. I'll just be real quick. I want to thank, first off, the seniors for being in the program so long, from when you're real young and now you're leaving us, but you'll always be a part of Mooresville basketball. So Ava and Hannah and Paige and Haley, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to thank all the other players on the team. Looking forward to next year. Hopefully we're playing and so on. And I want to thank the parents, especially after the games, providing the treats for the kids and the coaches, and your support. And really appreciate all that you've done for Mooresville girls basketball. Then I want to thank the coaches, Mark and Jeff and Leanne and Mr. Burnfield and Kevin, and just thank you so much. And I want to make one comment about Jeff Franklin, Coach Franklin, the JV team. I watched every game from the bench, and there were 4 or 5 games at the end of the first quarter. There was no way we were going to win that game, but they did. And that comes from not only just the players playing hard, but being coached up and doing what they're, just getting to play. And I want to congratulate Jeff on a good season and for what he's done and so forth. Then I have a special little thing I want to give to somebody when I see him. And in boys basketball, some of the things that get people out of their seat and clapping and all excited, the 3-point shot and a slam dunk. Those two things really get people excited. In girls basketball, you have a 3-point shot, but no slam dunk. I've only seen one ever attempted ever in a girls game, and she just hit the back of the rim, and Mark knows who I'm talking about. But so a few years ago, I told the girls at the beginning of the season, if you take a charge in a game, in a varsity game, I'll get you a milkshake. And we had so many this season. I'm on, and I've been around for a long time. I know that this season we may have had as many charges this year as we've had in 35 years total. They just went out and did it. So every time I go into Burger King to buy a milkshake, they know who I am. Before I walk in, they say, vanilla? And I say, yeah. And they already know. So that's been great. So we had one person, Allie Graber, who had the most. So I went out, and Allie, I don't know if you can see this or not, or if you're watching or whatever, but this is a charging stand for your iPhone, and here's a charging cable. So you have now earned the award for the most charges of this season. And I want you to know that's great. Next year, I don't know if I'll do this again, but man, girl, you did a great job. Okay, now I'm going to turn over to Coach Hurt and let him the best for last. Good night.
Thank you, Coach Johnson. Hey, girls, I think we need to take more charges next year, and maybe we can get Coach Johnson to go out and buy a milkshake machine. That way he won't have to run to Dairy Queen. So I first want to thank all the coaches. As you can see, they all do an outstanding job. We got a lot of experience with Coach Johnson and Coach Baldridge, and Coach Franklin's been with us now for a couple years, and then we got Coach Burnfield. Both those guys did an outstanding job with the JV team and with the freshman team. I'd really like to think that we have a total program, and I guess why I'm on that topic, our athletic department deserves a lot of credit because there's so many schools out there that do not have freshman teams, and I know we scurried around at the beginning of the season to find freshman games for our girls to play. I want to thank all the girls and their parents for a successful season. I would also like to thank Tammy Metzger, Scott Bain, and Tim Denny for keeping the book in the JV and varsity games this year. Also, I'd like to thank Sherry Denny and Sandy Graber for all the team dinners that we had this year, and also Christy Schaefer and Donetta Dove for organizing senior night. And also all the parents, like Coach Johnson said, all the snacks after the away games this year. That was awesome. As far as our season, we were 16-8. It was a good season, especially being the Mid-State Conference champs this year. We ran the table in the conference and finished 7-0. So that was a really good feat for the team. And, we beat Martinsville and Bedford North Lawrence, Columbus East. We play the 17th toughest schedule in the state according to the Sagarin ratings. So, we don't duck anybody. We think we have a good team. We think we have a good program. And, that's just a credit to the girls that that we go out and play the type of opponents that we play. As far as the awards, each of the girls will get a varsity certificate. And the first player is Maddie Denny. Maddie averaged 11.3 points a game this year, 2.8 assists. She led the team with 31 three-pointers. And also Maddie finished the season averaging 2 steals a game. She was all conference, and she was also underclass all-state honorable mention. So great job, Maddie. And Maddie will also receive a bar along with her certificate. The next player, Allie Graber, she'll receive a bar also with her certificate. She averaged 6.1 points a game, 4.1 rebounds a game, and 3.5 assists a game, which was second on the team. And she also led us in a very important category, which was charges, as Coach Johnson alluded to. So, Allie, you did a really good job, and we expect good things from you next year. Next is sophomore Abby Young. Abby will receive a pin along with her certificate. Abby averaged 6 points a game this year, 4.4 rebounds, which was second on the team. She was our most improved player. Abby, you did a really good job, and what I liked about you the most is really your work ethic and your hunger for the game to learn and get better. And we want to see that continue going into next season. On to our junior class. Kirsten Dove, she'll receive a pin along with her certificate. She averaged 4.1 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, and she shot 44%. Kirsten had a versatile role for us this year, and Kirsten, you did a really nice job. Our next junior will receive a pin along with her certificate, and it's my favorite player in the program. That would be Hannah Hurt. Hannah played in 16 games and scored 23 points. She shot 40% from the floor. Her strongest asset is her ability to shoot and put the ball in the basket. And Hannah, I know you'll be working on other parts of your game as far as your ball handling and passing. The next junior will receive a bar along with her certificate. That is Addie Schaefer. Addie averaged 6.4 points a game, She led our team in rebounding with 4.7. Addie had a solid season, and she led our team in block shots as well. And along with Abby Young, Addie would draw the toughest defensive assignment out there on the floor. So good season, Addie, and we look for good things next year. Now on to our seniors, and the first senior is Paige Gregory. Paige had a solid season. She led us in points at 12.8 points a game. She averaged 3.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists a game, which led our team, and she had 3.5 steals per game, which led our team in that category as well. So as you can see, Paige had an awesome season, a well-rounded all-around player, took care of the ball for us, played good defense for us. Paige was also all-conference. She was also senior all-state honorable mention. And as you all know, she will be going to IU East over in Richmond to play over there. And I'm really looking forward to following her progress over there and her representing Mooresville at the next level. The next senior is Hannah Hopkins. Hannah will receive a bar with her certificate. Hannah played in 17 games. She scored 18 points. Hannah was our Team Spirit Award winner, and Hannah was well liked by all her teammates. Between her and Hannah Hurt and Ava Mayer, they were kind of the three amigos. They kept everybody loose during the season and during practices. And Hannah, I'm really going to miss you, and good luck at Kansas. Can't wait to see you this summer. Our last senior will receive a bar with her certificate. That is Ava Mayer. Ava averaged 3.4 points per game, 2.1 rebounds, and shot 35% from the floor. Ava brought a lot of energy to the team and did a lot of good things for us. So you three seniors, we're really going to miss you. And as you can see by the numbers, everybody contributed. And that was a real factor for us finishing 16-8 with the schedule that we play and winning the Mid-State Conference. After Christmas, we had won 5 games in a row after losing our second game to Mount Vernon, and then we went on a roll heading into sectionals. We got a tough draw. Brownsburg's a good team, and we were right there. We'd cut that thing to 2 with 3 minutes to go in the ball game, and girls, hopefully you remember that. We hate it for our seniors, but that's something to build on. Next year we need to work on finishing ball games. So I'm really looking forward to next season. And once again, thank you all for joining us, and have a good evening. Thank you.